Hi guys, this is Vidas,
And Oshra.
and let's start episode 53 of Ask Vidas and Oshra podcast. And today's question was sent by Morton, and he writes that he's struggling with playing pieces which have many sharps. He writes, I don't have trouble with playing pieces written in many flats. Don't ask me why. For example, David German's trumpet tune changes keys in the latter portion. If he had written that portion in flats, I would be able to manage, but I haven't been able to manage that portion which he wrote in sharps. I have put that aside for now. I'm also working on polishing up an arrangement of Brahms's How Lovely is Thy Dwelling Place. I was elated when I came across this arrangement in Choral Classics arranged for the organ, published by Morning Star. To me, this would be a very suitable selection to play either before, during, or after a funeral. Thank you very much for being willing to include transcripts of your future podcasts. Best wishes, Morton. So, interesting question, Osha, right? That uh, Morton has trouble with sharps, not with flats.
Well, that's a strange thing actually to hear because usually people struggle the more accidentals the piece has. But here, I guess my best guess would be that probably in back, in time he had practiced more pieces written in flats,
Mhm.
not in sharps, and that might cause a problem.
I don't know if this is the case, but sometimes players of wind instruments feel more comfortable with pieces in flats, right? Because trumpet is in flats, and clarinet is in flat, and saxophone is, tuned in flats. So maybe Morton has experience with some wind instrument.
Could be. Definitely not with a violin and other string instruments because I know that string instruments prefer sharps.
Exactly. So, as you say, whatever the case might be, probably Morton has played more pieces written in flats than in in sharps, right?
That's my guess. And in general, I would suggest him to practice more like keyboard harmony, to play more sequences. That might, help too, to be able to play very easily and to feel comfortable in any key, in any given key. Never mind it's flats or sharps.
Mm. I think it's self-explanatory why he's struggling with sharps, because if if he's is challenged by sharps, he obviously tends to lean more on flats and practices what is easier for him most of the time, I would guess. So after a while, sharps will deteriorate. The skills of playing sharps will deteriorate, and the flats will become easier and easier for him.
Yes, I think so.
So he has to overcompensate now and go back to sharps.
I think yes, he has to know and try to play at the beginning easy keys with like one or two or three sharps, and then later just make it harder. Start with like G major and D major, later go to A major and so on and so forth until you know you will finish up maybe playing in C sharp major.
A good exercise is to transpose, right? For
Yes.
example, uh, take a piece or excerpt of the piece in C major or A minor. Either way, it has zero accidentals. And then, as Osa says, go through the circle of fifths. Uh, First, maybe through the sharp side of the circle of fifths, and then going back to the flat circle of fifths. That would help, right?
Sure.
Or another system is like transposing to the key which has one sharp and then one flat, and then again two sharps, two flats, three sharps, three flats, and so on until you reach like 6 or 7 flats or sharps.
Definitely, that would help, I think.
So
Anyway, I believe it's just, matter of time and practice. When he will get more experience, he will stop avoiding sharps, and everything will be just fine.
another suggestion would be for him to sight read,
Sure.
because if he sight reads pieces that he doesn't know, probably he will encounter a lot of pieces with flats and a lot of pieces with sharps too.
Well, you can take also a hymnal, for example, and let's say practice all the hymns written in the sharp keys. That's a possibility too.
Well, exactly. So I hope this advice has been useful to you, to Morton and to others as well, because this is a rather common problem, right? For people to be challenged by accidentals in general, not
Yes,
sharps
yes,
or flats.
yes.
Other people might feel uncomfortable with flats too.
Sure.
Let's say like D flat major or B flat minor, or even G flat major. It's a tricky key.
Or C flat major.
C flat major, or don't
That's a horrible key.
don't even start there. Right. Okay, guys, practice sight read transpose. This is the best solution you have. Wonderful. And send us more of your questions, and you can do that by subscribing to our blog at organduo.lt if you haven't done so already, and then simply by replying to any of our messages that you will get as a subscriber. We will be very glad to help you out to grow as an organist. Thanks, guys. This was Vidas.
And Ausra,
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.